Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a Platinum EKKO versus a Platinum Lee Sin. Let's see what they have in store for us today in the Fiesta Zone. All of these gamers looking to get Diamond, I hope. Mostly, well, half of them want to get Diamond, half of them are kind of convinced that their team holds them back still. That is a perpetual issue with most people in competitive games. Remember, you are your only constant. The EKKO then smites the red buff, goes down to the Krugs. Bottom line here shows super late, which means, guys started on this side. Lee Sin's can have a quite delayed second Grump spawn, or in this case, he seems to have done a good job with a good leash because they shut up quite late, so that's quite nice. We'll bring him a 4-minute 19 second Grump spawn. Platinum EKKO here going from the Krugs to the Raptors. And the Platinum course will finally be coming out this weekend, hopefully March 25th, latest March 26th, having all the information you need to get to Diamond. If you want Diamond and you want it fast, if you want to break the Platinum curse, if you want to stop yo-yoing up and down from P4 to P1, click the link in the description below to head to Virkayu.gg and reach the promised land today. If you have a Katarina and you're a ganking jungler, try and get this champion snowballing. If you're Rek'Sai, for example, from the previous coaching, try and get this going. Now, obviously, we are afraid of this here item right here, the Event Horizon. That is going to be a tough cookie to crack, definitely. So you're going to need to have good angles of approach. Here we go. We're going to try and do this before the Event Horizon is clocked in. Katarina is obviously more of an all-in champion. We're going to try and go ahead and throw out the Parallel Convergence. But as you can see, he can afford to play safer. He can afford just a ding 3 and know that he's got that infinite stun. It feels like an infinite stun when the enemy jungler shows up. So now what EKKO has done is actually given away his position. But watch where he's going. You see where he's going? I like this. If you're Bel'Veth, anything that can really invade a little bit, you know what I mean? You can go Red Krugs Raptors. Hey, can I gank this lane to snowball my snowballing mid laner? No, well, now they know where I'm going. But most people in Platinum still aren't dynamically pathing. Yeah, you start to think and track the enemy jungler, but you don't really alter your game plan too much, Platinum junglers, and I think you should start to do that adaptive pathing. But Lee Sin goes ahead and does this. He's going to be going to this now. He sees the EKKO go up here. We're going to press the magic button. Where is he? He's finishing up his Raptors. He's queuing to the red. He doesn't project that the EKKO could show up here, and I feel like this is such a big oversight. You should be dragging this camp into the bush. Drag it into the bush. See the fact that the EKKO crossed here. I'm inherently freaking out now, my champions. Like, if I'm a farmer, or if I'm a scale, if I'm playing some of that Zyra Kaiser, I'm super, I know I'm doomed. I'm like, oh boy. I better try and finish this up and run away, because I'm so nervous about the EKKO, the Bel'Veth, the Lee Sin, anyone just showing up to invade me, because they're like, oh, there is a champion against us that's not a meta jungler. We can punish that. However, the first ever video series. Oh, look, let's just watch this playthrough first and foremost. Let's go ahead here. We'll check out the Parallel Convergence. We should have probably gone ahead with that initially, but it seems like it won't matter too much, or will it? F in the comment section for Lee Sin's flash, please. F in the comment section for the Lee Sin's flash. That was a little bit tragic. Nice invade. Would have chucked the Parallel Convergence a little bit ahead of time, just in case he was in the bush, so I know it hits. Anyway, back to my story. The first video of the How to Win, How You Must Jungle series was end of 2020. And we had the new itemization. So I decided to play, obviously, some of my off-meta junglers, and as Solo Renektononi and everyone else in content has warm-up accounts and things like this, right? I decided to go ahead and try some of my weird, juicy picks. And I kept thinking like this, like, hey, the EKKO cross mid lane, I'm so afraid of this red buff invade, and no one would do anything about it. No one would punish the fact that I was playing a weaker off-meta jungler when they could. So I would get away with things that I shouldn't, but also I always path with the anticipation, right, that they're going to punish me. Here, this is really, really good. That's the whole point of what I'm saying here. This was nice. I know that the Lee Sin got leash bottom side. He hasn't shown up yet. He didn't counter gank this. He's probably going up here. Therefore, I'm going to stop, cut, invade, kill, snack, pull back. Now, you could go ahead and take this one. But you got to look at the timers, right? What are the timers on the map when he dies? And this is very, very critical here, because he basically has, where if we can get the timer going, going to spawn in 5 seconds. 3 minutes 20. So he's up at 3 minutes 15. He knows that this Scuttle Crab is going to spawn. The downside of going for this Scuttle Crab is he has no camps here, no camps here. So should the Lee Sin go for this into maybe a gank top lane, or ideally gank top lane first, maybe try and fight the EKKO over this area? Because if he goes down to the bottom side here and takes his bottom Scuttle, what does he do next? What's my next play if I'm the Lee Sin? Sure, opposite side of the map, but is this gankable? Is this gankable? Or do I have to wait from 3 minutes 34 when I'm about to arrive for this to 4 minutes 20 for my Grump? And as we saw, no, that's not the case, right? Here he comes, gonna go onto the Nautilus. We watch this. He's gonna take this, and now there's literally nothing else to do. So he's going to drive by the mid lane. We know the EKKO most likely has topside crab control, topside blue quadrant control. The EKKO wards and make sure he snacks it. The Lee Sin now's moving up. We have the pings going forward from our blue side jungler, who was so focused on denying the Lee Sin that crab in his own farm, he didn't look to translate his crab kill, which he should have, into a top lane gank, right? He falls back down after killing Lee Sin on the red. We're going fast now, guys, in Platinum. You want Diamond? You gotta start to speed up your decision making and your reads like this all the time as well. So we take this, we fall back to this and to this. Not a huge fan. I'd rather just do the Grum so I can make sure that that juicy extra experience is coming back sooner, because now we've taken the Wolf Camp, got the 81 gold the Wolf Camp gives us, which is more than the 80 gold that the Grump is going to give us, but the Grump has a lot more experience, like 70, not 70, 60 odd more experience, something like this at max scaling. So we know that the Wolf Camp is going to respawn, but with a lot less experience, whereas if we did the Grump here, we get the upfront experience now. When the Grump respawns, we get that upfront experience again, plus the gold, and we still get the 81 gold from the Wolf Camp. Now, if we can do that, take the Scuttle Crab, okay, we will not be concerned about the Wolf Camp, right? If you've done the Grump and the blue here, are you really this concerned about the Wolf Camp? I hope not. But when you look top lane, you're like, Pantheon and Aatrox are fisting. I want to have a hand in that. Look at this guy. He obviously went down to this side and went up here. I can track that because I killed him here with 16 Ziaz. Now he's 20. We see everything. There's no camps up. I know 420 hasn't yet arrived, which means that Grum hasn't yet respawned. You see where I'm going with this in terms of tracking and taking your jungling to the next level, eyes up in denial. But we basically relinquish the possible pressure. We should be going here and trapping the Lee Sin, excuse me. Now I'm speaking too quickly, as I always do, but my tongue gets tied. I'm going to stop right there before I go any further. We could just simply sit here. If this is not gankable, right, then we could simply just sit in this bush. Now, obviously, we don't have a scanner, which is the downside, but if you were paying attention to lanes, as you can see here, did this guy ever detach? While I'm busy doing all of this stuff and farming, did this guy move down to ward and go up at any point in time? Did the Lee Sin go here and ward? No, because he was dead. Yes, he died at our hand. You take this here, you go up here, and basically you can say, look, if this is not gankable, I'll chill and wait for the Lee Sin potentially showing up. If he doesn't show up, then I can go and invade him on the Crux, because that's very clearly where he's going. And if this begins to become a fight, then I can rotate to this just as easily. So we would be sitting there right now. What would happen, actually? We would see this go in. We should go for this. The Lee Sin would even show up. Yeah, we can go for this easily. So this should be a kill on the Aatrox, 100%. We can shove the wave. Lee Sin gets this. Now, of course, you can just go back to base. Leave your Wolf Camp. You don't need to finish it. Just go back to base. And now, of course, you can go and float. What am I doing? What buttons am I pressing? Float, of course, down to the second Krug spawn. Ganks on the bottom. And oof, I probably ganked this first, to be honest, before I did the Krugs. And now we know we have deep vision here. We can invade the Lee Sin on his tier 2 Grump. We're fusing our game plan with his game plan. We're destroying his game plan. We're taking over the entire game and winning lanes. There you go. Instead, he goes for his camp. We go for our camp. Then we go for this, and that's fine because obviously here they've detached and gone back to base. So if the goal is, hey, I want to go for this gank, right? Oh, they disappeared. Now I can do Krugs. It's the intent. The intent is good because if they stay, now I can make the gank. But obviously if they go back to base and they dissipate and go away, cool. I can do my quadrant. So that's a thumbs up decision. Thresh goes mid lane. We check out the parallel convergence. Now we force a flash, even though I don't think we necessarily needed to. Lee Sin was shown here. So 99% is going to go here into this, or he's going to cut through. Clearly, he's not cutting through yet, so he's most likely going to this, and he can now loot from the top side. He also has the RNG Scuttle spawning down here, so the EKKO says, listen, Aphelios is by himself. Let's go for something here. Nautilus is like, yes, the Hex Flash. We have our shield, so we can tank a little bit. We do have the Thresh Lantern, which means we are not going to get anything, and the Nautilus dies. And oh my goodness gracious me, that was... Do I cut it? Do I just cut and retake? And try and spin it? Nah, that was so atrocious, we're gonna leave it. There you go, my friends. There you go. Lee Sin goes to the top side and actually kills the Pantheon from this, so nice. Does this, floats to this, recognizes guy down here. EKKO throws away his lead. Now, you have to make your decision, right? You go mid lane, you've taken your red side quadrant. Do I track the Lee Sin going up, try and counter gank and affect top lane again, or do I go down to the bottom side for that win con? That might not always be the most obvious decision, but basically it will depend on who your duo is, who your matchups are, who's winning, who's losing, and who you think you can snowball. And effectively, I'm not going to results based it by giving you what I would have done in either direction. It would really depend on the nature of the game. So if I was snowballing my top lane and I knew Lee Sin was going to the top lane and I was going to gank this anyway, I would just let them fight and die. I'm not concerned about spam ganking bot lanes for random reasons or nerf the dragons. You know, that always look for the flow, and my personal strategy is shadowing, mirroring, and shutting down junglers and kind of doing this stuff at the same time, which is why I was so hyped by the EKKO's invade and annoyed at the missed opportunity to do the same thing here. And likewise here as well. Hey, we saw him here, we know he's going here, we know he's either going to go this or cut in. He hasn't shown yet, must be here, so I'm going to shadow this. RNG Scuttle, I can gank this and counter gank this, you see what I'm saying? And then of course, pull back, reset, gank bot lane, now we can invade and take the dragon. Better flow. But he chose to cut down to gank the bottom lane here level 5, try and dive the Aphelios, Thresh rotates over, they miss their spells, they don't hit it perfectly, we do get a dragon obviously, but now the question is, if you don't get the gank and you don't die, what are you doing? Because we wouldn't have had our Krugs and Raptors up, there would have been no fallback camps at all. Whereas if we go top side, we have his camps to take, the Lee Sin's life to take, the top lane to gank, and our blue side camps to fall back to. You follow? So that's the kind of decision you want to think of. If I'm going to go gank on a side lane or do something on the side lane, what else is on the map that I could do? If the answer is nothing, probably not the best place to go. And if there's nothing on either side, you're probably losing. So the Thresh roams here. Event Horizon does stuff. We get hooked, unfortunately. Fellas is like, yo, I'm fed, what's up? And Katarina says, can I go in, get a kill, or a gill if you're a fish, like the Fizz. And she does die to the Aphelios. No, yeah, 200 years design. I hate that champion so much. We lose our Grump to our top laner, which is very unfortunate. Right. Designers, anyone watching this coaching from Riot, can we do something about this? Because this is heinous. I know we died there like idiots and, you know, we look a little silly, but come on, man. Like, it's 2 minutes 15 now. The EKKO wants to go topside. We just lost a camp. Like, it's way more egregious than stealing a minion. You know, we don't get one every 30 seconds. Like, it's 2 minutes 15. Our big, juicy, fat toad is gone by a laner. Like, there should be that 20% damage reduction to jungle camps from laners, or like 50%, 200%. Make it impossible. Make it immortal to laners until like 15 minutes, please. Unless, of course, they want it, they ask us, and a voting system where we can say yes, and then it removes the debuff. Is that too complicated? I feel like it's too complicated. But I also think it would work. Hey, jungler, can I take the Krugs? You please me, bot laner. Your performance is good. You may have my Krugs. Top laner, can I have the Grump? You disgust me, vile worm. No. I mean, a bit power crazy, but, you know, I feel like that would be a funny system. I'm an all main, guys. I have so much power with my items. Now, Lee Sin is busy trolling with a bit of a deep invade here because this Aatrox has sort of prio in the situation, but of course now the Katarina can move, the Pantheon can move, it's a 3v2. The Veigar here is mid lane, so I don't really understand the full depth of his genius. You know, this is like Jeremy Clarkson genius. Weep before the glory of my genius, and then the car has no wheels or something like this, you know, or breaks down after 10 kilometers. Now, basically, in this particular stage of the game, we have the dragon, we have objective ping-pong control, we know the Lee Sin is sequencing bottom side to top side, we miss our Q there, excuse me, like I missed my mouse. I don't like the idea of not just forcing this, because if Lee Sin's going to go down to the bot side for his bot side camps, and we're going to do this, and he's going to reflex over, we have prior, regardless of whether or not the Aatrox is winning. Gray screen, jungler was gray screen, Veigar is not in the lane, we could easily have snacked this baby up. And when Lee Sin does show, cool, now I can counter jungle, maybe I can dive. You can show them your genius. And now, look at, no. I hate it so much. It really irritates me. Imagine being a Kratos or Fiddlesticks man and you're like, that gives me level 6? But why are you taking this? You fucked your own lane up. You lost 1v1 by yourself. Now, granted, as the EKKO, you might be feeling wounded by your top laner stealing your camps, but we could have done something about this early. Would have helped. And he would have seen you trying to help, hopefully, and appreciated it. But Platinum is mental warfare. It is basically mine sweeper for the mines. Mine sweeper for the mines, because basically you have no idea which one's going to open the skull of torment from your laners and your players on your team. One little thing could just set them off, and you have no idea which one it's going to be. So now the problem is this one spawns so differently from the rest of our camps Then we go down to the bottom side with nothing else to do. And this is a platinumism. This is what platinum junglers do, my friends. This is your tendency. You sit in a bush. The difference between you and a silver jungler is a silver jungler will sit in an unwarded bush. You guys sit in warded bushes. Excuse me. Scanned bushes. So the silver sit in bushes that are warded and they can be seen. You guys sit in bushes that are control warded and clear, but you still sit in them, right? So you're not seen, but you're wasting time even more so. So it's not like you can use it as a bait. You just sit. No one knows you're there. Your team doesn't even know you're there. Do you know you're there? Because it doesn't look like it. And this is the thing. I've coached a lot of platinum junglers one-on-one. That is the biggest thing. Is this do stuff, active, yeah. 80s, kind of, you know, on the bicycles of the music and the afros, but eventually just stops. Like, you just stop. It's like, you gotta keep the pressure because I know you can do it. We lost a Herald because of this. We're just piss chilling in that tri-bush for no reason, looking at a very difficult gank because there's nothing else to do. The Lee Sin's like, well, I guess I'll take this objective, and he does, and I goes top lane, gets plates for his AA run. And the Pantheon's like, well, I stole a couple of Gromps, but it took me 3 years to do each one. Sure, we get the Dragon. Do we leverage this into counter-jungling? Yeah, it's a good job, sir. That's exactly what you want to do. Now, are we seen? Did we scan? Do we have a control wood? Where's the Thresh? Where's the Veigar? Where's the Aphelios? Are they all going to rotate up here and kill me? That's why you want to scan. Let's press the magic button. Oh, it's a little close. Yeah, I see. So in my mind, I'm like, could be interesting. So always scan as you come up. Leave a control wood so you can see. Honestly, you could leave the control wood as a bait, just so you have more advanced vision. Because the idea isn't to have sustained vision over time. It's to have immediate vision so that you can see if they rotate to you before you leave. Obviously. Now we go to the mid lane, and Nautilus looking absolutely lovely. Lovely. Basically like a Big Daddy from Bioshock. Originals, no. Gonna go here and hold the mid lane. You're noticing it, right? 14 minutes, no real plate gold, no real turret pressure. Our camps are a little bit out of whack in sequence. We lost our flow. And that's because once you get the double gray screen here, you've got to go into that objective. You've got to make sure that, hey, it doesn't matter if they see me or not. Aatrox has to walk back to base, no TP. Veigar's mid lane. There's no way Elysian's going to respawn and get to me by the time I'm finished doing it. So you might as well just do it. And now we can basically use that with Elysian on the bottom side to get Pantheon back in the game, to snowball the mid lane, to go back to base, to use it on the bottom lane, to bust open the game state on our terms. And in doing so, maybe we don't lose our Gromp twice to the Pantheon, who does bottom lane showing signs of life, more than one soul in his body. Maybe. Yet to be seen. EKKO goes in the mid laner. Here we do burn the flash from the Veigar once more. The Lee Sin's like, yo, can I counter gank double? Wait, we are the same level. That's a little atrocious, actually. We're only down 11 tiers. That is a kick for the ages. EKKO obviously has his ultimate if he wants to use it, which he does. He's forced to flash out with his passive. The Katarina goes in and dies. What a nice bait, EKKO. You baited your Katarina to die. Didn't need to ult. I know what he was trying to do, but he didn't need to do it. Because look, we have 5.5k gold. Memes. And the Lee Sin is 5.1. Now, if you look at it from the face of the early game, right? If you look at it from the face of the early game, do you think this Lee Sin deserves to be remotely close in gold? That was nice. That was nice. That was nice. Reposition, wait for it, hit it, get the stun, get the kill. Pantheon's not going super deep. Will he hit the Q? He does. Will the tick do the oh, that's a... I'll be honest, that's a little unlucky. But that's what you get for stealing a Gromp. It is what it is. Basically, it's a monkey paw, right? Can I get some econ and gold? Monkey paw. Monkey paw gives you 2 Gromps. Then in turn, you no longer get a kill ever again. Something like that. Or like someone lives with 1 HP. You asked for gold and experience. You didn't ask where you would get it from. And the monkey paw chose to give it to you in the form of Gromps. Not champions. There you go. What you get. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. This sucker is the thing we want. Katarina's like, yo, can I kill the Thresh? Thresh is like, can I hook you? Then I'm going to flay you. Then we're going to TP you. And then we're going to have the Katarina going on the Phalos and killing. Then we have the Kai'Sa going and killing the Thresh. Call an ambulance, but not for me. They have the big Nautilus hook onto the Veigar. EKKO was like, yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. You will have to deal with this. This is a perpetual issue all the way up until Grandmaster Challenger. Everyone will tell you this. Hey guys, I need to go back to base. I need to do something. Hey guys, I'm dead. Why are we taking what at most can be a 4v5 anyway? At most this can be a 4v5, right? That's it. That's all it can be because Pantheon is dead and EKKO did need to base here. Well, I mean, need is a strong word. I would say that He wanted to base and very clearly wasn't in a position with no ultimate to go for a fight in the river with nothing else to do. We were not fighting over anything, right? Why would you... Okay. I see it, but you know what I mean? I would try not to get hit by the Q. I guess we were baiting. Either way, it's good to get the kill. Thank you, Nautilus, so much. Looks like we're going for the Lich Bane build. Always a fan of high base damage on the E and then high scaling on the E and then one-shotting people with my E, but I do like the Nash's Tooth. If you're wanting to know more about that, the gameplay channel will have one shortly after release of the Nash's Tooth build. 100 AP with 15 haste now. Yes, the gold cost went up by 200, but haste, super juicy. We have here the Pantheon going in on the Veigar. That champion's so strong. That champion's so strong, people just don't know how to play it. Now everyone's sieging in the mid lane here, so what should we look to do in this particular situation as per normal? Hopefully not to do that if you're the Nautilus. Most of the time here in mid-game stuff, let's have a look to see what happens first. Lee Sin will show up. We don't have numbers advantage. Our ult is a little bit wasted, but we do get the Protobell into the back line. We're going to keep trying to kill the Thresh here. Q for the slow, but we're a bit out of position now. We should run away. E to dodge the Q. That's always good. We will have the Q again for the slow. We're going to have to dodge the next Q as well. We're going to chuck out the W, which we can activate with our R. Does he try and do something with it? No, he doesn't. He's going to keep respacing, obviously chucking out the Q for the slow. Remarkable luck, but also discipline to not ult necessarily on the spot. You can trigger your W with it as well, by the way, so that's pretty good. Shield, stun, run away, off you go. Now, in the mid game, this is nice pressure. No dragon up, no herald up. What are we looking to do? Keep our econ up. So, everyone wants to siege mid lane? Right. I'm going to do my Gromp. Blue Gromp Wolves in theory, but typically here I'm going the outermost camp. Why? Because I want to go Gromp towards the blue, towards the wolves, because if something happens here where I need to rotate, I'm already pathing in that direction. Valuable seconds for the rotation. And obviously, if you see something happen as you're going, cut, right? React, cut, make sure you're there. The downside is when you shatter the mid lane, you're looking, nothing. You really want to go down to your Raptors, Red Krugs. You can cause your team to kind of be in a tough situation. So ideally, we want to try and help them break this. So instead of doing that, you can swoop, right? If you're fed, swoop to this side. Wards, kills, traps, counter jungling, push a wave up. Pushing the side wave up can be nice because then you can cut back in. You just want to keep the pressure such that you can rotate to the ARAM. You don't want to be in the ARAM. Well, his body said yes. His mind said yes. His first and second brain said yes. And he went for it. I just wanted to pause this here because the Lee Sin goes way too deep for his team. We have the Pantheon on the top side. He doesn't quite have his ultimate yet, so he needs to start to proactively rotate. Or, oh wait, it is up. We're being trolled by the timer. It is available, so that's great. We would see this in game. Now we know we do have the 5v4 advantage. So in theory, even though Aatrox is most likely going to start to rotate over, we need to make sure we have the right team fight. So Thresh, Fox's ultimate, kill the target in front of us, in which case this is Thresh. He flashes out now. So we can chase it, or we can focus on the next target to try and keep our carries alive. We see the Veigar floating from the left. The Nautilus hook misses tragically. The Katarina helps us by killing the Thresh. Now going flexing onto the Ophelia. So she's doing what Assassin should be doing. The EKKO's just doing his best to survive and, I guess, thrive, but also just to survive. The Veigar here has Crown of the Shadow Queen to survive a bit of these assassination damages. And now, obviously, the Katarina is going to kill the Ophelia, so she's doing her job. But that leaves us in a bit of a precarious situation because we cannot physically do anything about this situation as Kai'Sa is also dead. Thank you, Veigar. Thank you, Aatrox. So we're going to get chased away here. The Pantheon is able to go in and kill the Veigar. From a teamfight perspective, this is an okay situation. And of course, we get a nice little stun there. Can we survive? Yes, we can. And of course, the Pantheon and the Katarina should maybe, hopefully, try and kill him. There we go. Is that a Herald? No, because 1946. So, excellent use, everyone, of the Lee Sin's misposition at executing the teamfight perfectly. That kind of makes sense. Just understand your role. Yes, we want to kill the Thresh. Yes, we wanted to kill the Aphelios, but Katarina can do that. So what we can do is use our W, use our zoning, using our slowing, using our kill pressure, to try to kill the mage, trying to kill our backline, try to zone the Aatrox and the Thresh as best we can. Lee Sin was obviously dead, so that is, that was fine. Like, from our perspective, that's fine. We disengage, we get the stun, we survive for nice. Good job, team. Like, that's all you're looking at here. So, a lot of our KP differential, 3-8, a lot to do with the early game and our transition into the mid game. We just didn't capitalize on the amount of advantage we actually should have had and did have based upon our invade. Thresh is able to easily chuck out that hook, but everyone dodges it, and they're like, haha, we have caught you now. Guys ults in, we get the kill, the Lee Sin died, that's great. So, effectively, what we're saying is, hey, Thresh is dead, let's go for a Baron. Katarina kills the Aatrox, now can we go for a Baron? I don't think, ideally we want to do the Baron 100%, so the whole team should be here, so if you're a Platinum player, everyone should be here 100%. But you gotta zone this guy. Gotta zone it, because if they execute on his Q. No, stop! Oh no, I can see it. No, stop! Hero. Hero mode! Yeah, I hate that. I hate it when it comes to this. If I'm the EKKO, and I see that we've killed other people, and the enemy jungle is coming over the wall here, I'll just do it myself. You can always, if you have ult back in, but ideally, I'll just go kill the EKKO, the Lee Sin myself. Chug the W, wait for him to show up, go over the wall, kill him, go back into the pit with your E, kill the Baron. No reason to sit in the pit and let his Q hit. Let your body block the Q, right? Let the body block the Q. Let him say, like, if you take this, we're going to kill you. Badly executed, right idea. Little too, you know, hanging around here to get the kills, but that's huge. Pantheon's out of position. The Lantern is calling the Aphelios, who says 200 years! And then the Veigar shows up with the item, and then Katarina says, yeah, what was that, about 200 years? And the EKKO, because he died there. Oh, this is typical Platinum. It looks a lot like other Elos, doesn't it? The better part of it is the early game, right? All that finesse stuff. But when it comes to macro and the late game and the mid game, sure, people are better and they play for the picks better, but it's not always the best. So, fortunately, we have killed the Veigar, the Thresh, and the Aphelios, which means their Baron is significantly reduced because Aatrox was dead when it was taken. Now we're watching the respawn times, everybody is up, but our Katarina is dead and our Pantheon is low and going back to base. So now we want to leave. EKKO's like, I want to leave. Guys, I want to leave. Now we're looking at this. Can we throw out a W, maybe get some kills? He sees the double knockup and it's like, it was the wrong decision. He should have just left. If you're in the situation, just leave. Big sigh. Just leave. Take this. Move down to this. Push this up a little bit. Threaten a steal over here because you can always ult outright if you have it available. It's a better play. That's it. Don't die. Just keep getting your own econ. Standard stuff. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. When you're dead, your teammates will do stuff. You have to be aware of that. So now they're going to shove this, take this, control our camps here. We see the top lane potentially. No, we catch this wave. We have the Lich Bane. Obviously, we take the Grump here. We could probably push a little bit more. I think we could have afforded to push another wave. Pull them back down to this, into this. That would have been a little bit better. Just for some extended vision line, obviously. Maximize your goal. Take the crowd. Like, I don't know why we're leaving this Krog camp here. Like, this should be taken for us. And now when this happens, we're taking it. We're falling back. We're not getting caught. Cannot stress that enough. You're not looking to fight. You're just looking to push a little bit, cut down, take the sucker, take this, pull away from them. So as they come forward, there's nothing there. Outside, in rule, you fall back, you're safe. Right. Now, do we have a nice stall, perhaps? Let's have a look here. We all go to the mid lane. We clear this ward. We are afraid of the Lee Sin. The Veigar's on the bottom side. This guy's warding up at the top side here. There's no Baron for a little bit. We see the Veigar's overcommitting, so we say, okay, cool. If he's overcommitting, we can maybe go for the kill. He decides to cut through underneath. Event Horizon does its job. Aatrox does the cutoff. Fog of War here. We're afraid of this. Respect what we don't see. We know that he could cut through. Be very, very careful. The Lee Sin goes in. They don't respect what they don't see. Now they're going to 4v2 this. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Well done. Hey, our whole team is here. They don't know where we are. They're split into a 2 and a 3. Why don't we just 4v2 them? And we'll kill them. That sounds good. It's exactly right. It's exactly what you do. So nice and plain. Kill those 2 with that commit. Veigar moves on over to cut off. The other 3 now have to pull away. They now can shove this. Okay. Aatrox, Veigar, and Thresh go to the bottom side to 3v3 to cut them off because they feel that their 3v3 power is super, super strong. Fair play to them. Aphelios and Lee Sin stay mid lane to shove. If I'm the jungler too, I'm also doing the shove. You're the jungler, support the win con. Especially Platinum. They're still going at it. That's an in hit, but you gotta be careful not to die because EKKO's coming back to base and Katarina's going to respawn. You gotta get out. If you do this, you gotta be able to get out, otherwise it's not worth it here. Aphelios. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. This one we can take over here. So basically, this was fine for the delay. However, you probably only needed to send maybe 1 or 2 people to stop backs, but like, here it's better to commit. Let's just go rotate down and kill them. I'm the Lee Sin. I recognize I'm not having the best game. Whatever jungle you're playing, recognize I'm not having the best game, but someone on my team is popping off, I can win con with them. I can support them, I can shadow them, I can peel them, especially as Lee Sin. You can do it as Udyr. In Platinum, you will start to have players that are diamond bound, destined for diamond. They will show themselves. You will know who they are. Play around those players and totally 100%, they will be able to get you those free Ws. Easily. But you gotta recognize which one it is and kind of cultivate that relationship a little bit. Because otherwise it's obviously not always going to work, is it? If you let them die, it won't work. Right, EKKO is now in a position to maybe do something. We have the Baron here. Let's see what happens. Dragon spawning, and it will be a third ocean. The Nautilus is out of position warding, as is very, very typical. Panther goes in here. The Lee Sin's on the mid lane, fighting the Katarina. So basically, there's 2 mid lane here. We do have numbers for this particular scenario. Katarina dies. Can we leverage our numbers advantage to kill in that situation? Yes, we can. Kai'Sa ults in there, misses the flay. Lee Sin's rotated over. Well, Aphelios was pushing mid lane a little bit, and Aphelios recognizes I should rotate over to this. The Kai'Sa overcommits and dies. Now the EKKO gets hooked. Now the EKKO dies. Now the Pantheon shows up, and he will die. And, well, the Katarina's up, Nautilus is up. Yeah, okay. You can do that. If you can do that with the right gun, do it, by the way, if you're Aphelios. If you have the right gun here, just do it. If you're fed enough and you can do it. Good snack, though. 3 Ocean Dragons. Alright. Basic stuff here. Finishing our quadrant. See, this is better, right? In comparison to Silver, this is significantly better. In terms of farming in this mid and the late game phase, you can see the jungler's looking to clear camps and then look for the next objective fight. He's not standing still and only looking to fight. So if you're Silver and you're watching this, you're like, oh, okay. I see that's a better use of my time to inflate my econ. We have 12,000 gold, basically 200 gold behind the Lee Sin at this point. Considering the fights and the nature of the game, I feel like that's okay. We haven't played very well either. Now they want to do this. We have no macro pressure anywhere. Kind of want to push this up really, really hard and then cut in, or just intentionally give it up. Basically, the Lee Sin goes way too deep here and dies to the Pantheon Q. EKKO's rotated here, got the Q on the Veigar. The Lantern is there, but he flashes anyway. The hook does hit on the EKKO. Veigar just says thank you so much. Now we're going deep on the Aphelios. There is Kai'Sa and Nautilus. Look at this, though. You see this? You see this? The difference between low elo, gold, and platinum isn't necessarily that the fights are, you don't want to say like this much better. It's just that they recognize the numbers advantage is quicker. And for better or worse, they always go for it. For better or worse, they see 2v1, they go for it. You know, they see 2v1, they go for it. And they kind of lose sight of the macro fight. And obviously 2v1, 3v2, 4v3, these are good things to play around. But there's got to be a cohesion to the team fight rather than these minor scraps to the middle. You know, the team fight is always about the fights within the fight. It's always about the numbers advantage within the numbers advantage. But if you're not on the same page afterwards, you're not going to win these fights. It's just going to be eternal. Look at this. It's just eternal scrap after eternal scrap. More fighting, more fisting, more fighting, more fisting. And then we're just going to do it again. Everyone respawns and they're like, all right, let's go. Baron time once more. No concern about these waves. No concern about pushing these up. No concern about maybe forcing a rotation. Instead, straight up team fights, straight up skirmishes. Hey, Lee Sin's out of position. Can we go on this? Lee Sin's like, hey, maybe we can do something. The Katarina goes in and kills the Veigar, uses a stopwatch. Veigar is now dead. Lee Sin's now by himself. We have a 3v1 here. We have 2 people in the backline, or excuse me, 1 person in the backline here with the Kai'Sa trying to kill the Aphelios. And that's probably not the right play. Now they can chase him down. So, yeah. Tough. That's why it's so important to always be as fed as possible. But also, you know, I think the most important thing here for EKKO mains and Assassin mains is try and get these good angles. See, like, this is a better angle, right, for the kill, but we don't have the damage. We don't have the levels. We don't have the lead necessary just to make that an easy kill. Like, you should be 18 while everyone else is 15. You should be 17 while everyone else is 14. You should have those 3 level leads. We just don't, because we've been perpetually fighting these micro fights for 20 minutes almost. With no intent to say, hey, look, let's just shove a wave. I'll give you this, guys. Take this. We're going to shove this really, really hard. We have EKKO. We have Kai'Sa. We can melt this. Do you really want to do this? Yes, but they're going to send a couple people back to base first. Then we can just fall out, take all of this, push this all up. I'll give a Baron sometimes just to have huge macro pressure so that they can really do nothing with the Baron, especially if I'm super duper fed. Now you've denied them all their camps. You've got the map control you wanted. Yes, they can push up, but we're EKKO. We have wave clear without Q, right? Now you force them to split themselves up, and now we can go for those giga picks. Obviously, the soul point is up, and our EKKO's now like, hey, let me go to the top side. Now's not the time to go top side. Now's the time, if you have time, to go outside in, cut down, or if you need to go straight to it, right? Because we saw the Veigar top lane. Yeah, he has TP, but I don't know why we're not there. So this is a cardinal sin. Horrific. Worth going for the steal? Yeah. You can get out. As long as you don't get thresh hooked and Veigar popped, you played intelligently, you can probably go for the steal and get out. Worst case scenario though, Veigar's here, we can maybe have a fight without the Veigar, force a TB, kill someone crucial. Kind of what we're looking to do, but red team should easily win this now. Basically, Lee Sin's out of position again, but it's not really out of position if the EKKO basically gets melted. The Nautilus goes in on the Lee Sin. See, now they're just front to backing. Good job, Lee Sin. See, now he's closer to his team. He's not really out of position. He's closer to his team. And now the Aatrox can go in. They've done the pre-chunk, everybody. Huge Aatrox W. Huge Aatrox W. The Lee Sin will die for the Sins, but it doesn't matter. We get the reset on the ultimate. Katarina going into the back line there to try and kill somebody. He's able to kill a Veigar, but they still have a carry up, and now it's a 3v2. Oh boy. Oh boy. In the Platinum course, we're going to break down all of these fights super slow. Super slow. Numbers advantages, everything like that. It's going to be fun. It will actually be fun. I do enjoy slowing down and breaking down team fights, but for the YouTubes, we just kind of look at it a bit superficially, just give some outlines and some tips, but EKKO tries here to go into the Lee Sin, but he was closer to his team at that particular stage. So they just ditch, right? Oh my goodness. Again, no concern about the waves. No concern about the waves. No concern about... It's a biggest problem. Sure, your mechanics are better and your decisions in the early mid-game are better. Sure, you have better team fighting to a degree, but people still ignore the waves. I mean, I would just play for Elder here, but like, you want to coin flip this Baron, you can do it. It's gone. Panther gets hooked, gets flayed. Now he's separated from his team, forcing to flash out diagonally. Now Thresh is MVP this game with these hooks. Now, of course, the Nautilus is here. The Kaiser is here. The EKKO again gets hooked because he keeps going frontward. You see, that's the whole point. Look to be patient here. Can I go from the back line? Can I threaten with my W? Like, hey, here's a W, but I'm not actually going to take it. All of these what ifs that we could do, we just keep walking into a Thresh hook, and we get popped for it. Boom, baby. Blown up again because we keep just running into the front. Pantheon out of position, running into the front. Katarina's done a solid job getting into the back line to actually get the kills, but the EKKO is always basically dead. And the Kaiser also ults in and dies because she only sees, 2v1 advantage, just kill him. She doesn't see the two rotating, you know what I mean? You got to reconcile these two things. That's what makes you diamond when it comes to team fighting. You are able to start to see the fight within the fight, but also the actual fight, right? In Silver, you don't see anything. That's why I always teach the fight within the fight. Focus on that. Next target, next target. But in Platinum now, you've got to see the 2v1 here, but you also got to see the two people rotating, and that's the next level of your team fighting. But early game is where the super juice is. Hopefully you could enjoy that. A little bit of a quick superficial run in the mid and the late game. Just some pain points, I think, for this player, but hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.